In a rare case, I'm actually in support of a merger of two giant tech companies. We're going to talk about, and I feel a bit giant actually. We're going to talk about Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard and winning against the FTC suit on this topic on today's Not So Critical update. I'm pretty excited. So for the people who are not gamers or in the space or aren't keeping up on these types of news, Microsoft's been trying to buy Activision Blizzard. Isn't it Blizzard King, Peter?
Activision Blizzard King, yes.
Maybe they don't mention King. Maybe King is like a honorary. Anyway, Activision Blizzard is a giant in the video game space. We're talking about Call of Duty. We're talking about World of Warcraft and Overwatch and Diablo. Some really, really big names in the space. And Microsoft has been trying to buy them. Sony has been pushing not only the FTC, but anywhere they can to halt this merger or purchase. Because Sony is scared of Microsoft locking away some of their biggest money makers behind exclusive deals like Xbox exclusives. Microsoft has assured Sony that that's not going to happen and has now won the FTC fight. The judge has decided to allow this to go through. I actually think this is a really, really good opportunity for Activision Blizzard. We've talked about this company a bunch, primarily shitting on them, to turn it around because Microsoft has a really good reputation. Their video game / Xbox division is on fire. They're super good. And I mean, this is really good news, to be honest.
I think it probably is good news in the end. I'm a huge Blizzard fan because I was a World of Warcraft player for years. And I like some of the other games like Diablo and those kind of things. But Blizzard as a company has been really shitty to its employees. And I do think it has the possibility to end up with some amazing games. But I think I'm always kind of like anti-consolidation, anti-monopoly building type thing. And there's like some of the agreements that they had to put in place for the first, like Microsoft's going to allow Call of Duty to be multi-platform or ensure that it's multi-platform for 10 years. Yeah. There was some really interesting stats released. I don't know if we did a story on it, but did we talk about this in another episode? It was kind of hilarious.
I feel like we talked about this merger.
They did a what do you call it? They as part of the court case, talking about whether the deal can go ahead or not. They released some redacted documents, and there was someone that had used a Sharpie to mark out a lot of the parts of the document. And the problem was that when you scanned those documents in, it was very clear what was underneath it. So we got to find out that I forget what it was. It was a Star Wars title that cost $200 million and that required a staff of 300 people for like 2 years or something like that. I can't forget the exact figures, but like hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of full-time employees working on a single game. So having this, and also one of the interesting facts was that over 1 million people only play Call of Duty on their consoles. That's the only thing that they use it for. And a whole chunk of people, really? Are you one of them, Mike?
I've had an Xbox for years, and literally the only game I've ever played on it is Call of Duty.
Wow, that's a $500 Call of Duty machine, basically.
Yeah. Call of Duty, machine. Peter, Call of Duty has America by the throat. I just want you to know that.
Wow. Yeah, I don't play Call of Duty, so it's sort of weird being on the outside. But like it being such a key part of a $70 billion deal is sort of bonkers to me.
It's a huge franchise, multi-billion-dollar franchise. Just Call of Duty, just the title.
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
So, but the thing is that this is after 10 years, they can take it off that platform. And World of Warcraft has been around for 20 years nearly. If they took World of Warcraft off of PC or something like that, I mean, I can't imagine what would happen. Like, it would just be
financially, it would be not a smart decision.
Yeah,
it wouldn't.
It's not going to happen. But Microsoft could make could after this point make it run better on the Xbox than the PlayStation, optimize it for particular hardware, or make it if they made it Xbox exclusive, Mike would. You say you have an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, but if you had a PlayStation, then you probably would ditch it and buy an Xbox, like that. That kind of,
depending on how big of a fan you are, and that's the idea, and that's what Sony's scared of, is that they're going to lose a huge amount of players. But it is not in Microsoft's interest, because not all Call of Duty players can afford an Xbox after buying a PlayStation, right?
I think it'd be very carefully calculated.
Financially speaking, I really don't think that it's in their interest. We've seen this with so many publishers. I mean, it is not the smart decision to lock behind an exclusivity contract, lock a game behind an exclusivity contract.
It doesn't mean they're not going to try it.
I don't think Microsoft is. I really don't.
Halo,
I don't think so.
They did it with Halo, right?
Halo was an exclusive, and they lost a huge demographic. They lost a massive portion of their demographic locking Halo behind the Xbox when it could have been on PC, when it could have been on PlayStation. I mean, again, it is really not viable. Like, it's not a smart business strategy to not have 20 other dudes who are working to port the game to PC or port the game to Xbox, PlayStation.
So why do you love Call of Duty so much, Mike? Not a player.
I don't know. I don't know. It's the only, like, I've tried other first-person shooter games. Like, it's the only one that I just ever go back to. Like, I don't know why. And I'm not even good at it. I suck at it. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I can't control it. My KDR is like -1. It's insane. I'm terrible.
What's a KDR?
KDA.
Kill to death ratio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I get killed many more times than I kill somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
It's terrible. I'm terrible, but I just like it. I thought an interesting angle of the story is the jurisdiction of the case. So this will be the not so legal update. Mm-hmm. For federal cases, sometimes you'll see like jurisdiction shopping, and this case was tried in the Northern District of California, which includes Silicon Valley. So it's known to be a very tech-friendly court. So biased, Microsoft versus the FTC makes it less surprising that the ruling was in favor of Microsoft. I think if it was a suit between Microsoft and Sony, I mean, I guess that wouldn't be a federal suit, but that would almost be more interesting, because then you'd wonder, like, who's the bigger tech company. I still think it would probably go to Microsoft.
And I think it would be Microsoft. And I also think that specifically really good choice on Northern California, because I believe that is also where Activision Blizzard was previously sued and brought to court for sexual harassment allegations, favoritism, a bunch of shit. Not a good image in California for like Activision Blizzard. So makes sense, actually. That's really interesting. That's an interesting point, Mike. What I'm the most excited about in all of this is the slim possibility that Bobby Kotick, Bobby's the CEO of Activision Blizzard, will finally get axed. In all communications regarding this, it is showing that Bobby's going to stay on as CEO or whatever. That could change the day they acquire it, right? They could say a lot of things and sign a lot of things, but by the end of the day, they could pay him out his 500 mil or whatever and kick him and get rid of him. Guy's not good for the company. Get him out.
The thing is, it's such a Pyrrhic victory. I mean, I want him to go as well. I don't like the guy, but he's been with Blizzard for such a long time, and he's made so much money at this point that there's no
but also terrible things happened under his watch. As much as he wants to say, I had no idea, I didn't know.
No,
blah, blah, blah. Like,
that's why
whatever.
Yeah. He just did the financial. He was such a
right. Oh God, that article. Anyway, that's it for today.
Yep.